So hi children, good morning. In the previous episode we have discussed the first chapter. So in that first chapter we have discussed different types of plants and different types of plants reproduction and different types of dispersal of seeds. So we have discussed it in the previous episodes. So today in this episode we are going to discuss the second chapter, the life of animals. So this is the second chapter. Now we are going to discuss about this chapter. So children, we will observe different types of animals in our surroundings. So different types of animals. So some animals live in land and some animals live in water and some animals will fly in air. So we will observe different types of animals in different types of places in our surroundings. So the place where an animal survive naturally is called habitat. So children, what is habitat? So habitat means, so it is a place or it is a place in our surroundings where a living being can survive naturally is called habitat. So there are different types of habitats. That means there are different types of habitats for animals. So if you see the examples, so the different types of habitats are land and ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans. So these are the different types of habitats, and also sky is also habitats. So children, so these are the examples for different types of habitats. That means we can observe different types of animals in these habitats. So let us see, so what are the animals live on the land and what are the animals live on these water bodies and what are the animals that live in the sky. So first of all, so what are the animals that live on the land? So we will observe different types of animals in our surroundings on the land, especially in our villages and on the roadside. So those animals are which live on the land. So for example, so dogs and cats and buffaloes, cows, goats, sheep. So children, these are the examples for the animals which we will observe on the land. That means which you live on the land, and these animals we will observe in our villages, especially on roadside. And some animals can be seen in our homes also. So let us see the animals which live in water, that means ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans and seas. So these are called water bodies. So let us see which animals live on the water. So the animals which live in the water are example fish and crabs, prawns, whales and sharks, so etc. So these are the animals which live in water. And we can also observe some animals fly in the sky, especially birds. So the birds which fly in the sky are, for example, parrots and sparrows, crows. So in the same way, parrots, sparrows, crows. So these are the examples for the birds which fly in the sky. So children, in this way we can observe different animals in our surroundings. So some animals live on the land like dogs, cats, buffaloes, cows, goats, sheep, etc. And some animals live in water, for example fish, crabs, prawns, whales, sharks, etc. And some animals will fly in the air, especially birds, parrots, sparrows, crows and doves as well as example. So children, so these are the animals which we will observe in our daily life. So now In these animals, so generally these animals can be divided into three types. So these animals can be divided into three types. That means domestic animals, wild animals, and pet animals. So domestic animals means the animals which live in our villages on the roadside are called domestic animals. Example, so dogs, cats, buffaloes, cows. So all these are called domestic animals. So and some animals especially live in the forest. So those animals which live in the forest are called so wild animals. So for example, tiger, lion, wolf, so etc. So these are the animals which live especially in the forest. So these animals are called wild animals. And we will observe some animals in our houses. Those are called pet animals. For example, the dogs, cats, and goats, sheep, and also we will grow some birds also in our houses. So those animals which seen or which live in our houses are called pet animals. So children, so these are the different types of animals which we will observe in our daily life, in our surroundings. And these animals are different in different ways. So children, all these animals look like same? No. So the animals are different in different ways. So the animals looks different in their skin, and they are looks different in their food habits, and they are different in their movement, and they are also different in their respiration. So in this way, all the animals are different in different ways. So they are different in their food habits. So all these animals are different in different ways. So for example, so the animals are different in their food habits. That means some animals eat plants and grass, and some animals eat insects, and some animals eat flesh. So in this way, different animals will differ in their food habits, and the animals also different in their movement. So some animals walks, jumps, runs, and some animals crawls, and some animals fly. So in this way, the animals are different in their movement, and the animals are different in their respiration also. So most of the animals breathe through their lungs, and some animals breathe through their skin, and some animals breathe through their spiracles. So in this way, animals are different in their respiration. So in this way, the animals are different in their food habits, in their movements, and in their respiration, and also in their skin also they are different. So some animals have fur or hair-like structure on their skin, and some animals have scales on their skin like fish and snakes, and some animals have a hard shells on their skin like snails. So in this way, so the animals are different in different ways. For example, in their food habits they are different, and in their movement also they are different, in the respiration and skin. So in this way, the animals are different in their different ways. So children, so let us discuss about each one, so about the animals. So let us discuss first food habits. So how the animals are different in their food habits. So based on the food habits of animals, they are classified into 4 types. So based on the food habits of the animals, so the animals are classified into 4 types. So they are first carnivores, and the second type is herbivores, and the third type is omnivores, and fourth type is insectivores. So children, so based upon the food habits of animals, the animals are divided into 4 types. They are first one carnivores, and the second one is herbivores, and third one is omnivores, and fourth one is insectivores. So these are the four types of animals which are classified on the basis of their food habits. So let us discuss in detail about each one. So first we will discuss carnivores.